Istanbul. Istanbul was Constantinople, but now it's Istanbul. Okay. Let's depart. Okay. So let's see. To get to Amsterdam, it's going to take 75 pounds and minus 5 health. But it looks like I can select different ones. So I should think this departure should be discussed. Interesting. So depending on which way we're going, it seems like he would be more interested in going this way, and we can negotiate to go on the Orient Express, which would be really cool, but we're not going to go that way. We can go to Nice. I'd rather think departure should be altered. We can negotiate it. The Pyrenees Express departs for Nice. Alright, so I I really wanted to go to Amsterdam regardless anyway, so let's go ahead and do that. Before 5 p.m., private car to Amsterdam, final departure in 50 minutes. The car's roof has space for 1 suitcase, but we have 2. Ooh. Let's hire a second car. Let's see. The car's roof has space for 4 suitcases, which is ample now. The open road, this looks like a bothersome experience. Okay, let's go. The private car. There's passport to driving as his master is in the back. We found a member of the Coachmakers Guild to carry us to Amsterdam. She loaded the cases into the back, stoked the boiler, and took off at high speed along the coastal road, swerving around each corner with considerable skill and, I think, a touch of recklessness. Let's see. She had some Gliadar's discomfort or a touch of showmanship. Touch of showmanship. And I think a touch of showmanship. I clung on tight. This would be a terrific ride. We can wait and get news. We can converse. Let's talk with let's talk with our driver. Greetings, driver. I cannot drive well if you're talking to me. Let's see. Let's talk about Amsterdam. What can you tell me about Amsterdam? The canals of Amsterdam are no longer lined with gold. Let's see here. We want to go to... I want to go to... Well, actually, let's ask about Berlin. Is it possible to go from Amsterdam to Berlin? I believe so. Berlin can be reached from Amsterdam by private car, but the journey is a tiring one. Alright, let's ask about Berlin. What more can you tell me about Berlin? The beer and sausages are good. Okay, now we're done talking to her. So by talking to her, we gained access to Berlin should we want it. But really what I want to do is go to Copenhagen, but I might have to go to Berlin first and then go to Copenhagen, unless we travel the ocean here. Once or twice, the metal-rimmed wheels lifted the chassis clear from the road on one side, only to bump down after a chuff and puff more of the engine. We jolted around like so much poultry we must have topped 40. We jolted around like so much poultry as the wind whipped through our hair. A ghastly state of affairs. The Polish inventor Bozek, who had first attached a perfectly decent locomotive engine underneath a flimsy wooden crate, had a lot to answer for. Let's see here. Such cars were growing in popularity, starting from their use in farmsteads and extending up through the classes. So interesting. The cars were started originally for the masses. Let's see. It was said that the King of Sweden now drove one, though presumably only to show solidarity with the beleaguered potato farmers. Let's see here. I tended to Mr. Fogg, concerned that he would be suffering as I was. Somehow I had to ensure we did not travel in cars again. So we might just take the ship. That might be a good way to go. Some of our possessions could earn us well here. The market opens at 7 a.m., so let's go and plan. We can't go to Copenhagen unless we unlock it. I suspect this departure could be altered. What does he think about Berlin? Let's see. Beer and sausages are good. Oh, that's interesting. So I could use that as negotiation. Okay. What is this? So the next departure leaves tomorrow. If we travel this way, we'll have to stay the night. Okay. So we might just want to go to Berlin. It's more expensive, but it'll take us less time. Yeah, because then there's Warsaw, and we can just hit up Warsaw, because we're doing that because of the thing that we've got in our bag. And Budapest is down here, though, so we're kind of like, we're really, if we don't go here and then to Copenhagen and then to Warsaw, we're going to be missing that out. So we might just, I mean, we are trying to go for speed here. We're getting around the world in 80 days, so we might just go this direction and arrive Sunday. It would appear we cannot go this way today. The private car departs for Berlin tomorrow, and then this one departs tomorrow at noon. Got it. So 8 a.m. The hotel was too expensive. We had no option to curl up in a shady spot under the tree like wild dogs and try our luck outside. To say we slept poorly. Not sure what I clicked, but apparently we're staying the night. To say we slept poorly is an understatement I will not make. So early on our trip, I thought I was going to die. Your relationship with fog has deteriorated slightly. I do not know what I clicked, but we're here, and the market's about to open. So let's go see what the market has to offer for us. Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, market. All right. Ooh, so we can go to European carriages list. Slender volume listing contact details for European carriage drivers, or a lost sketch by Rembrandt depicting a set of outlined figures. Ooh. Now, let's see. Where can I see where Munich is? Munich is here. So I'd have to go down in order to get to Munich. But then I would hit... no, I'd hit Berlin and Budapest, but miss out on Warsaw. And again, we don't really want to take too much time bouncing around, so probably don't want that anyway. Zooming in. There we go. I think we'll just leave this alone then. Let's go ahead and plan. I think we'll just go to Berlin. I think that's my final choice. Beer and sausages are good. Can I... Private car departs tomorrow. Oh, okay, so we have to wait. And it'll take our stuff. Okay, so let's go back. Let's take a sleep. Explore first. Oh, wow. So we could actually go to Copenhagen from here. Though the people of Amsterdam move about its canal-side streets with a sense of optimism and good cheer, I felt no pressing need to linger. One look at their buildings tells another story. Our own mission left little time for exchanging pleasantries. One look at their buildings tells another story. Perhaps 200 years ago, this was the center of the world, but these days, tulips are no longer considered more valuable than gold. The Zulu diamond fields have drawn away the trade from Europe, and the importance of Amsterdam is a little faded. I sympathize, bien sûr. France's own position has been precarious since the debacle with Napoleon. Apparent, again, French. It is a most ill-advised venture to attempt to conquer all of Europe and Russia besides. Would I walk along the Seine one day, thinking back to our days of lost glory? Let's approach a street peddler, who greeted me with a cheerful smile beneath a caterpillar-like mustache. What's the cheapest way out of the city? I asked. He mused. Most likely the hydrofoil leading north to Norway, he shrugged. It is fine, though, if you don't mind being jolted around. Is Norway worth visiting? He shrugged and made a vague gesture. I hear the Norwegians are moving underground. Who knows? They have strange ways over there. There was, of course, the route following the canal south, in particular the route towards the Rhine, though I feared that to end up in Munich after nearly a week of travel would hardly please my hard-traveling master. So many choices, all that remained was to choose how best to depart. So, I think we have to stay in the hotel first. We'll pass the night here. Oh, I should have checked Ooh, I should have checked to see if the other travel would have left earlier. With what remained of the day, I attended to Monsieur Fogg. I went to stretch my legs. Let's attend to him. Provide him with a haircut, with the hopes that he would have a comfortable night. Relations with Fogg have improved slightly. Good. Okay, so it looks like the heart is not his health, more so it's our relationship with him. I am in fine form, but we must make haste. Okay, Copenhagen arrives tomorrow. Awesome. But they can only do one bag. Bloody hell. We're just going to have to go for it. We're going to have to hire a second car. Just going to go for it. The car's boot has space for 4 suitcases, which is ample. The open road, this looks like a bothersome option. Alright, we're going to be driving again. Oh, look at this car. This one's fun, but we don't have any cover this time. It's going to be a rough trip for us. I begged Monsieur Fogg. No more cars, not so soon. Would he be moved? Oh no. In we climbed, preparing to journey another few hundred miles to the heart of Germany. We hired the same driver as before. You two, she exclaimed. Get in. Wait, converse Fogg. Good care for Fogg. Ah, close shave. Sorry, I gave him the French accent. Ah, close shave, superb. The journey was every bit as unenjoyable as I had anticipated. Still, it's not a valet's place to complain. I grew so petulant and desperate for relief. I'm going to say it's not our place to complain. So I weathered every bump and dip in the road, but I cannot say I relished a minute of it. Perhaps Monsieur Fogg did not either. So, though if he truly enjoys anything, I have not discovered it. He seems pretty closed off. Perhaps my master is in fact an English automaton, so wonderfully built as to have no rough edges, no feelings of any sort. But relations with Fogg have strengthened slightly, so that's good. Uh-oh. Oh, he's losing health because of the travel. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I guess not. We made good progress in the car. I was in agony, but I am a Frenchman, and we do not complain. Amen to that. Finally, we came upon sight of tiled roofs, the harbor, and smell of herring. We had arrived in Copenhagen. So now we have to figure out how to use this this thing in our bag. Some of our possessions could earn us well here. It seems that we can complete our valeting set here, for protection against strenuous conditions. We'll have to explore Copenhagen to find an onward journey. So with the geometry equipment, it says that it's valuable. Oh, it's valuable, so I could sell it here to make more money. So basically, it's kind of like the other thing that we were looking at. If we went to that other city and sold it, it would make us a ton of money. So we're definitely selling the geometry equipment because we don't have any use for it. Let's see here. So we got part 1 of the valeting set. So we got Egyptian cigars that might be used to... Oh, I see. So this is one part of the valeting set, so we should get the hairbrush, because that's 2 parts. Actually, if I could do a little... It won't let me switch it. It's okay. We'll do that. Canadian train timeline. We're not going to need that until much later, because we're nowhere near Canada right now, so I'm not going to go for that. Gosh. Part of left out of the law set. Okay. I don't think we're going to go for the loaded dice. Oh, but we might need the knitted gloves. This keeps out chill and heavy rain, but we're going into Russia, so we're probably going to need more. I'm hanging on to the Englishman's outfit. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to play into everything, but maybe we get rid of the European shipping timeline because all of those ocean treks are kind of behind us now. So, actually, let's just take a look. Coming up from Stockholm to Warsaw. Maybe I need to keep it because we're still going to have to need that. Oh, and for some reason I've lost the market. Well, open 7 a.m. Okay. Well, let's plan then. Actually, what we're going to need to do is we're probably going to need to sleep and then we're going to need to explore in order to get the next leg of our journey. Copenhagen has spilled out of its old fortifications in the last few years. New homes were built overlooking the gleaming lakes and the glaciers, all flattened to provide foundations for new development. We had a few hours to spare. So let's visit the Amalienburg Palace. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. The winter home of the Danish royal family. All right. We were stopped at the courtyard gate by a pair of guards in full livery. Let's see here. Let's see. What do we want to tout ourselves as being important? Might as well. We are on important business from the British Empire. The guards crossed their spears more firmly. The British are most certainly not welcome, the guard replied, apparently still somewhat rankled by Lord Nelson's destruction of the city some 60 or 70 years ago. Oop, I picked the wrong thing. Do we double down and try to go for French nationality? Let's go for it. I am French, I remarked, wondering if a sudden switch in allegiance would soften her resolve. Oh, sorry, her. Female guard, of course, why not? Would soften her resolve, but the guard was impassive, in the manner of all well-trained guards the world over. We strolled away, passing a hooded woman in the plaza outside who dropped something that clattered to the ground. She froze. I stooped to pick up whatever it was, and handed it back to the woman's trembling fingers. Thank you, she croaked, and then slid the canister back under her cloak. We were just across the narrow bridge into the old town when we heard an explosion. Ooh. And looked back to see a tall column of black smoke rising from the direction of the palace. Smoke, but it seemed no flames. As I said, my friends, a town of new developments, each more alarming than the last. Ooh. Alright. He's in roaring health. Good. So let's explore. Takes us some time, but we do have a sea route to Stockholm. It took a few hours to explore, investigating the various options for how we might continue our journey. So let's go ahead and look at that. So we can go down to Berlin for 71. For 55, we can come out to Stockholm and then to Warsaw. And arrive tomorrow. Arrive Saturday. Arrives tomorrow. So that's interesting. So does that mean if I go to Stockholm that I will not be able to travel to Warsaw until Saturday? That seems odd. This will arrive tomorrow, this will arrive tomorrow. And this is cheaper, and I kind of am interested in seeing Stockholm. So let's go ahead and go to Stockholm. And we'll embark. And good, we don't have to buy anything else because they can bloody take our 2 bags. I don't think it's that much carry-on. 2 p.m. Ruhenfeld. That's my reading of that. Don't judge me too harshly. To Stockholm. The hold has space for 2 suitcases, which will suffice, but uncomfortable conditions and mild seas. This promises to be a wearisome option, but the valeting set should see us right. Hey, so we got some back for getting that valeting set, and that'll help him feel more at home with a shave. Alright. I should not have tried to pronounce that again. I should have just said, yeah, that word. There it is. It's right there. Read it for yourself. The ferry from Copenhagen left promptly, but never accelerated to much of a convincing top speed. I could see Milsko Fogg's impatience. Never mind my master's impatience. Well, I was happy to relax. I could see his impatience from the way he lifted his eyes from his ledger every few minutes. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so why don't we take care of him then? I could not wish for a superior valet. So he's given us a compliment. That's nice. The day dragged along. No one came to speak of us, never one to leave a problem untackled. Never one to leave a problem untackled or a collar unstarched. I went to pay the boiler room a visit, but found it quite deserted. The boiler itself was fed by a drop chute of coal which appeared automated by a chain that fed in through the ceiling. I investigated further, but the bridge was as empty as the boiler room. The controls were being operated, and the boat steered by a series of straps and pulleys that fed into a large black box at the far end of the room. We are on a robot boat. No wonder it's not going very fast. Curious, I opened the box to reveal a strange, huddled machine made of slowly spinning wheels and cogs. Ropes fed in through holes punched in its side and wrapped around different hooks and rods. At the very center of the device was a brass globe with a stylus on its surface. Ooh. I peered closer. gonna break this, I swear to God. I peered closer and saw the surface of the globe was etched with grooves. They ran parallel when then diverged, shipping lines, and the stylus was tracing one, thus guiding us toward our destination. I tried adjusting the stylus into a parallel groove. I tried pushing the stylus along, and found it was easy enough to move, but the boat did not jump through the water, of course. Next, I tried moving the stylus to a different groove, and again it moved easily. The new groove followed the original for a short while, then veered away to the right, and I wondered as I closed the box what effect, if any, this would have on our sailing route. Oh no! Let's talk. Oh gosh, we're gonna end up in a completely different area. What is your wish, what is your wish, Master? Let's see here. Let's use the wool trousers. Monsieur, I will crease your trousers for you. Thank you, Passport 2. That will make me very comfortable. Let's go ahead and do the wool shirts as well. Monsieur, I will press your shirts. Excellent, my man. That would be most pleasing. Helsinki. Let's see. What have you learned about Helsinki? The Finnish are still uneasy about the Russians on their borders. Very good. So, we're no longer going to Stockholm. We're now ending up in Helsinki. Paris World Fair, a roaring success. Cool. Good to know. I keep trying to pronounce that, and I really should stop. I awoke to find that we were in the middle of the Baltic Sea with a northerly coast fast approaching Finland. It seemed my adjustments to the boat's controls had changed our destination. I went to tell Monsieur Fogg. I decided not to tell Monsieur Fogg. I'm going to not tell him. And actually, now that I think about it, we don't really need to go down to Warsaw after all, because the only reason we were going to go to Warsaw was to sell that box that we already sold. So we're actually going to make better time by ending up here. So I decided not to tell Monsieur Fogg. Thinking perhaps he would prefer to believe the boat had changed its mind than his valet had done this of his own volition. So in the original story, Passport 2 and kind of his adventure and curiosity does end up causing a lot of hiccups in the overall plan of the story. So this is just one, but I think this one worked out well in our favor. We're going to end up in a further destination for the same price. The afternoon wore on to late evening. Finally, we reached the shore. The boat docked itself with admirable precision until the very last few feet. Ooh. I shouted at the harbor master to assist us, but not before we were holed and beginning to take on water. Oh, gosh. The damage to the dock cost us £100, and I was thankful the owner of the boat was not aboard, as I am sure it would then have been more expensive. So why are we getting charged for that, though? We're not the only people on the boat, are we? Maybe we are. That makes more sense now that I think about it. If we just got a little robot boat to take us. Your funds have gone down by a fair amount. Gosh, dang it. Alright. So we're now in this new city, Helsinki. Helsinki, yes. Some of our possessions will fetch us a few pounds here, but the market opens at 7 a.m., so we'll wait. Then we'll explore, and then we'll plan, I think. So yeah, this is definitely... It's going pretty well so far. I haven't had any terrible problems. We got a buffalo hide? So, some of these things, as we found out before, are really mostly for selling on and other parts of our journey so that we can kind of like make money. We're doing a little Marco Polo in here. Fur-lined Russian hat with ear flaps, something like a collapse. It's part of the gentleman's robe set. I wonder if we can get all of that. So I might just sell the traveling cloak because I don't think that's going to help much. Let's get the hat. Ooh. I think that's in Russia, so we might want to do that. I think volume listing all the train routes of the United States, so not there yet. Heavy wrench, good for the most difficult bolts and adjustments. Oh, do we want that though? Part of the engineer set. I'm gonna take the book, and it looks like I can also take the wrench, so why not? All right. So let's go ahead and explore for 4 hours. Right, so we're getting word of new routes from the north. I wonder, gosh. We were accosted outside the visa office in Helsinki by a stony-faced official with white blonde hair who prodded me in the shoulder. I smiled at him and he grimaced in return.
What?
He began slowly.
The hell,
He continued,
are you doing in Helsinki?
I replied that we were on our way to St. Petersburg. Let's see, yeah, we're on our way to St. Petersburg.
And why,
He continued, no happier.
the damn,
He cursed.
are you going to St. Petersburg?
We are going around the world. My answer seemed to give him pause. He stopped and pursed his lips.
All the way around it?
He inscribed a circle in the air. That is the intention. He thought some more.
Which way?
East. He nodded deeply again.
In that case, do not go to Russia,
He said after much computation. But we were considering the Great Railway through Siberia.
Russia is a place of Tsarist bootlickers and imperial lackeys.
He nodded once.
On your journey, if you see any Russians, he added, turn the other way.
I said I would consider it, and he nodded. We thanked him for his time and moved on. I believed he was, in fact, a jovial soul, but I did not see any clear evidence of it. Alright, let's plan. So, yeah, we're going to go right through if I go to St. Petersburg. So it departs tomorrow and arrives tomorrow in St. Petersburg. This is going to arrive Sunday. So that's a longer trip. This also arrives Sunday. I'm just going to go for it. Like, sorry, dude, but I'm going to see the Russians. Let's see what's going on here. Arrives tomorrow. So it's going to... Baltic Ferry departs for St. Petersburg tomorrow at 9 a.m. And it's got plenty of room for our luggage. So let's go ahead and sleep on it. And then we'll depart. We'll pass the night here. In the lobby of our little hotel, there were 15 different varieties of vodka, flavored with various herbs and berries. Let's try the licorice flavor. I really don't like licorice, but I think it's kind of fun that would be the one he'd go for. It's French, after all. And found it sweet and dark and utterly beguiling. I awoke, as they say, somewhere else, and staggered back to Monsieur Fogg in time for his morning ablutions, but with a splitting headache and another unopened bottle under one arm. Ooh, I should not have tried the vodka. Alright, so let's depart. I'm in fine form. We must make haste. Sorry, I'm having a hangover, Monsieur Fogg. I'm going to need a moment. It was the licorice vodka. I blame the man that was in the lobby. He gave it to me. I do not know what I did with that, but alright. Alright, St. Petersburg. Let's go. Embark. We have plenty of room, mild seas and cold weather. This looks like a wearisome route, but the Englishman's wardrobe should soften things a little. Nice. Okay, so now we're seeing where the Englishman's wardrobe came in. It's helping us a little bit there. All right. The Baltic Ferry. We boarded a ferry for the short journey to St. Petersburg. Cool. Let's talk. Ah, who are you? Greetings, madame. Yes. Now, what do you know about St. Petersburg? I hear that many peasants have migrated to St. Petersburg for factory jobs of late. Which makes sense because it's on the ocean here. Very known for that. Let's see here. Let's see, should we talk about Moscow, Stockholm, Minsk, Prague? Let's talk about Moscow. Can you travel from St. Petersburg to Moscow? Yes, there is an irregular train service from St. Petersburg to Moscow, but the journey is a tiring one. Let's ask about Moscow. Do tell me about Moscow. The Tsar has formed his own secret police, I hear. Okay, sounds a little dangerous. But I'm just like, you know what? I think that we're going to go for the danger, because I really want to take the Siberian train. The journey along the Baltic was plagued by ice-fingered winds, as though Russia wished to warn us in advance of the coldness of our welcome. But the people were warm enough. I stayed at the rail. Oh, the people were warm enough, and there was quickly impromptu music in the ballroom below decks where I was. Ooh, is he a singer or is he a dancer? Let's say singing. I was roped into singing, but to my master's endless displeasure. Frère Jacques. That's the only French song I know. Dormez-vous, dormez-vous. After several hours, I noticed Monsieur Fogg has taken his leave and stayed out without remorse. At made my own excuses. Let's see, and stayed out without remorse. Carousing. Oh, okay. So Passport 2 stayed out without remorse, carousing until the ferry finally docked. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly, so he doesn't really care that I was drunk on vodka the night before, and that I have now been carousing all night here. All right. The Ushanka could earn us well here. Okay. Ushanka. What's the Ushanka? Oh, this. Oh, we can sell it. But I don't want to sell it. I want to be as part of the cold climate set. Okay, maybe I can sell this one and then... Okay, so this is not for cold. This is for Russian gentlemen. Oh, but if we could... I don't know. That might help us with the Russians. I don't know. Let's go ahead. I'll sell this and let's get the warmth because I'm gonna want the warmth. So we've now got 3 bags because we got this must be my vodka. Let's see here. Fur-lined boots. So we've completed the cold climate set. We're all set there. We'll leave that alone. We're in St. Petersburg. We're gonna have to take the hotel, but let's see. We're gonna take Moscow, and it's gonna arrive Sunday. Gosh, we're gonna have to. Let's see here. We're going to have to probably pay for more luggage space. Hopefully we don't have to get rid of stuff, but we'll see how that goes. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and pause here, folks, and then tomorrow we shall travel to Moscow and deal with the savage Russians that are there with their secret police. Until the next game, take care.